Last motion, Honorable Sada.
Solely, I'm representing Jibia Kaita Federal Constituency. I'm from Katsina State, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming on Order 6, 1, 2, 3, and Order 2, Order 6, 2, and Order 6, 4, that is privilege. Mr. Speaker, my attention was drawn on certain reportage which is very disturbing and preposterous. Mr. Speaker, if I can recall, this House was in an executive session last week, precisely 27th March, on the instance of the leadership of this House to discuss issues on security, which the matter was reported by the Honorable Speaker. But disturbing, Mr. Speaker, on the 29th of March, Honorable Indudi Elumelu, while he was attending the NEC meeting of the PDP, issued a statement which is false, which is against Section 17 of the National Legislative Powers and Privileges Act, which negates the principles of Order 6, Rule 1, 2, and 3, that during that executive session, some members of the APC approached him indicating an interest to join the PDP. That was false. It did not happen. Mr. Speaker, I'm complaining against this publication. If you check Vanguard of 30th March, the report is there, and they quoted him saying that many APC representatives have indicated interest to join the PDP as a result of security issues that were discussed that morning. We did not discuss that. That was not what was reported by Mr. Speaker. What was reported by Mr. Speaker was clearly documented in our votes and proceedings of 28th. Mr. Speaker, that was a breach of my privilege, and that was a breach of my right as a member of the PDP and as a member of this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Privilege. We all know that those are our rules. It's just for me to, if there's going to be a discussion on privilege, there has to be a motion that arises, which he will move and somebody will second. This is just an observation. If there is I think we must, Honorable Sada, you must be aware that, both sides will always play politics. Whether it is true or not is a different thing. If there's any member of APC here that intends to go to PDP, can you please rise? Matter, your privilege is noted. Thank you. All right, what's your point of order?
Colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Woji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 6.
Yes, just refer us to the page.
Page 17 is Order 6. Page 18 is procedures on matter of privilege. And I read, a matter of privilege at any time arising shall, until disposed of, or until debate on a motion thereon is adjourned, suspended.
What are you reading? Order 6, rule what?
3.
3. I don't think that's relevant here.
No, just a moment. Let me drop my point.
Order 6, Rule 3.
Yes.
Okay.
That's procedure on matter of privilege.
Okay.
Okay. A matter of privilege at any time arising shall, until disposed of, or until debate on a motion thereon is adjourned, suspend the consideration and decision of every other question, provided that precedence or other businesses shall not be given to any motion if, in the opinion of the Speaker, a prima facie case of breach of privilege has not been made out, or the matter has not been raised at the earliest time. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, first and foremost, this is a matter of privilege that is before the House. Just a moment, sir. It has to be ruled and properly too. First and foremost, I take cognizance of the fact that Mr. Speaker has noted it. But he has the opportunity. No, the Ndudi is not here. But more importantly, there was no breach of privilege. He didn't say that SADA came to him. He said some members. No. He said some members. And he didn't say it's a solution of this parliament or a resolution at the executive session. He said some people came to him. And it is clear that member has been crisscrossing in this parliament. Members have moved to APC, to the joy of members of APC. If some members have and interested in moving to PDP, I do not see how that is a violation of anybody's privilege or that of the parliament.
Let's wait for them.
So if at any point in time, matter of privilege should be made matter of privilege. And like the Speaker rightly ruled, he said that people have freedom of association, freedom of expression, and I do not think liberty to offer opinion, express oneself, breaches anybody's privilege. I saw Mr. Speaker.
Pointed to how his privilege, in his own estimation, was breached. Being a member of APC, he was called, he told me this earlier, that he was called by several of his constituents that, were you one of the people that went to Honorable Elumelu? And he denied it, but he's here to clear his name. Whether it's speculation or not, you must agree that words, especially in this political season that we are, have meaning and carry a lot of weight. There are subliminal messages that can be sent, and that is why sometimes you have to be even though you have the freedom of expression, you have to be reasonable enough as a leader to measure your words and what you say publicly. You see, it's no longer a private discussion between Honorable Elumelu, the minority leader. It's not just a member; he's the minority leader, and a private discussion, which was intended, assuming that it is true, intended to be private, was now made public by him. And that had its own reverberations all over the place. It was published in the newspaper, so it was a major source of concern for him as a member of APC. I can sit here and tell you, or I could have sat here and told you, or the leader could have sat there and told you that many members or gone to the press and said many members of PDP have approached him to join APC, but he never did, and which there have been many actually. But they don't just whisper into our ears, they actually do it. They actually do it. So that's the difference. So the point is that instead of the difference between the people that went to Elumelu and the people that have gone to the house leader is that the people that went to the house leader actually carried out their threat. They actually did it on the floor. But the majority leader did not come on the floor or go to public and say some members of PDP I agree with you that by who? I'm not calling a press conference. I'm talking to my colleagues. I wasn't talking to my party, but I'm talking to my colleagues. There's a difference. There's a difference. But I understand, though. I mean, politics must be played. I understand where Elumelu or you guys are coming from. But the problem is this, and you got to be very careful, and he has to be very careful. If you go to a forum like the PDP NEC meeting, that's a major party forum, and you make a bold statement like that, a major statement like that, you better be able to back it up. Because at the end of the day, if nobody from the party, then it makes him out to be, I don't want to use the word, you fill in the blanks. Do you understand? So I have ruled on the privilege. Your privilege is sustained.